Hello and welcome back. Code with SDM here, and in today's video I'll be sharing with you guys about one of the best tool or framework that I know on Laravel ecosystem. So today we are going to learn about Filament PHP. So if you are new to Filament PHP, please visit this link and you will be on this official site of Filament PHP documentation. So basically, in today's video, I'll create a video series for Filament because Filament is actually a big framework or a bigger tool. So we need to have a couple of videos discussing about it. So first of all, you have to understand everything in a basic way as what is a Filament PHP. So this is just an open source UI framework which was built on top of Livewire, which will help you to ship admin panels and also other application in a fast-paced way. Okay, so basically here there is a demo for Filament PHP which I'll show you in a minute. Let me open it in a new tab, but also you can get the source code for that demo here, so it will be on GitHub. But here is some of the things that you will find inside the Filament PHP. So basically you will find the panel builder. So this is how you are going to get easier to get the admin panels. But also you will have the form builders, which gives you a simplest way to build the complex forms, but you will not get complexity of designing or doing anything else. So they are built already made components. Okay, so also you have the table builder, notifications, actions, info list, and widget. And all of these, we are going to see them in action. So stick to this video. And if you are new to the channel, consider to subscribe, like the video, and share so that you can learn more about Laravel and its related ecosystem tools. Okay, so down here you can see it is built with the tile stack, which means there is Tailwind, CSS, Alpine.js, Laravel, and Livewire. So those are the things that built the Filament PHP. But here we have a new version of Filament PHP as it was released in a couple of weeks. So this is very new. So if you are learning or you are watching this video, so you're on the right track, because now we are going to see all the best new version of Filament PHP. So we are going to see each of these new features that were added. So you can see there is nested resources, improved the performance, tables with custom data. You can add the new rich editors, and also the best thing is that Filament PHP version 4 supports Tailwind CSS version 4. So we are going to see all of these on as we goes on. So out of that, there is also a section for plugins. If you want to see any of these plugins that support Filament PHP, you can just visit here, and is where you can see all the plugins. So first, now let's see the demo. So this is the demo application. So you can just sign in by clicking sign in, and this is the application. So you can see we have the dashboard here with these filters, or you can just say these are the filters for this dashboard actually. So you can just use those to filter this dashboard data. Okay, and these are the widgets, which we are going to see in a minute. What are the widgets and how you can create one. So you can see there's a couple of types of widgets. So we have the statistical widget, we have the charts, and also we have the tables. So all of these are the widgets and these are the filters. But here on top right corner you can see we have the name of the user that has been logged in, and you can see we have the options to change the theme, we have the option to sign out, and also we have here this option of a bell where we can see all the notifications that this user has. Okay, so you can see these are the samples of notification. You can see there is a new order, and the user will be able to open through here. So we are going to see on how you can create something like this. So these are the database notification actually. So the notification that will be published to the database. But here you have the global search functionality, means that the user can be able to search anything that is inside your application by using this global search feature. Okay, but here on your left side you have the sidebar, which has the different links which will be inside your panels. So we are going to see on how you can create these sidebars, and you can see these sidebars are drop down, means that you can collapse it and expand it like that way, and you can see it as a title, and you can see that is a label basically, and you can see we have different links. So you can click on any of these links, and you can see here this page is a separate page, but you can see it as something which is called the clusters, which will add a sub navigation inside a certain listing page. So you can see this is the product listing page, and inside that listing page you can have another sub navigation. So out of this you have also this navigation, which you can navigate like this way, and you can see this is persisted, means that this is called clusters. Okay, so we are going to see on how you can do that. But if you go back here, you can see also inside this page we have this beautiful statistical widgets. So we are going to see on how you can add the widgets inside the page. Okay, but you also can see here there is a way to add a new product, and down here you can see there is a listing of those products, and there is other features like filters. You can add a filter on how you can want to filter your data, so you can just add a certain constraint to filter your data like that way. But also we have features like this one. You can see there is fields that are toggleable, so you can just toggle them to be hidden or to be shown. So for example, if we check that one and apply, you can see that column will be added here. So now you can scroll here and you will see that field here. Okay, so that is how easy you can just do that. So, and you can see the tables are automatically paginating our data. So if you have data that are more than a certain amount, you can see the data will be paginated automatically. So this is just the simplest demo, because all of these other things we are going to check them on our own. So we are going to see on how you can add these actions like view, edit, and delete. So you can click on view, you can see this is the non-editable page. You can go to the edit, you can see this is the way that you can edit that data, and you can see we are going to see on how you can upload your images and how you can add the slugs and something like that. Okay, also we are going to see on how you can use these tabs, so that's easy. And also you can add these actions like delete, so you can delete it from here. You can add the bulk actions, so you can see here we have the bulk actions. All of these we are going to see on our video. So without wasting any time, let's go back to the documentation. So I'll just remove this one, but regarding the plugins here, you can see this is the where you are going to get all the plugins. So there is free plugins and there is paid plugins, I mean. So you can download any of these plugins and you can just install them whenever you want to use them. So you can use the filters, like if you want to get all the free one, you can just use that one. Okay, so and there is versions of Filament here. So if you want to get all for version 4, you just use this one. If you want to go to version 3, you can just use that one. Okay, so that's all on this demo. So now let's go back to the documentation and let's get started. Let's navigate to the documentation and let's get started. So here we have the Filament documentation, and from here you can see the first thing that you see, it is what is a Filament PHP. Okay, so when you want to understand about Filament PHP, this is just a server-driven UI framework for Laravel. So it just allows you to define user interfaces entirely in PHP by using just structured configuration objects. So rather than traditional templating where you are using blade templating and something like that, but on here you are just using the configuration objects that will help you to just build all the user interfaces entirely by using PHP. Okay, so it is built on top of Livewire, Alpine.js, Tailwind CSS, and Laravel. As I told you before, it is built on top of tar stack combination. Okay, and actually what you can get from Filament, you can just create admin panels, dashboard, forms based apps, and all without writing just a custom JavaScript or any front-end code. So that's all about the simplest way you can understand Filament PHP. So you have a lot of definitions. If you want to learn more about server-driven UI, you can just understand it by here. You can see there is certain companies that use that architecture, and that's all. But down here you can see the core Filament feature comprises of the following packages. So basically you have the main package, which is Filament core, which is filament/filament, which is helping for building panels, so the admin panels and something like that. But also we have the one for tables, which helps you for table building. So it contains the table builder that allows you to render an interactive table with the filtering, pagination, sorting, and something like that. So that is a separate package. And we have other for schemas, we have for forms, info list, actions, notification, widgets, and support. All of these we are going to see on how you can use them inside the Filament application. But the best thing about this, you can also use them separately from just a Filament PHP. So you can create a Laravel application. You just need to have Livewire installed on that Laravel application, and then you can use any of these packages. So at the end of this video, I'll show you how to use them inside another Laravel application. So stick with me and you will learn more about Filament. So here on the plugins, this explains on how you can create your own plugins like a package, so that you can be able to extend the functionality that was built by the Filament team. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's now see Filament in action. So what we are going to do, we are going just to create a simple Laravel application, because when you navigate to the installation, you see Filament requires the following requirements. So basically you need to have PHP 8.2. Why? Because we are using Filament version 4. So if you are using Filament version 3, there is different requirement you can see from here. So it requires just 8.1. But if you switch to version 4, you can see on installation part we need to have PHP 80.2 and above. So that's the requirement that you need to have. So make sure on your local machine or on your server you have the PHP of that version or above. Also you have Laravel version 11.28 or above, and the last one is Tailwind CSS version 4. So here, before you can just dive into creating your first Filament PHP application, you have to know the following two things. The installation comes in two flavors. Basically, there is for panel builder, means that you are going to use all the features that are coming with Filament into the application that you are building. But there is a way that you can use to just add a certain individual components from Filament into an existing application or an existing Laravel application, and that is what I was trying to explain to you. So I will show you this on a section where we'll be showing you how to use this individual component. But for now, let's stick with this one, because if you do this, you can see the documentation will be changing. So let's stick with the panel builder, because we want to use that to create our Filament PHP application. So down here you can see you need to install the builder by running the following command. So you have to run inside the Laravel project directory. So means we need to have the Laravel project before you can just install Filament. So to do so, let's open Laravel HUD. So I'm going to open Laravel HUD here. Okay, so here you can see I have Laravel HUD opened. So if you have never used the Laravel HUD before, so this is just a local development application which help you to manage different kind of services that you need to in order for you to run your application locally. So you can see you can be able to run services like you can manage PHP versions. You see we have different PHP versions. If you run an application with different versions, so Laravel HUD will keep you in a consistent way, because you can just create an application with different version. So you just have to switch those PHP versions. But also it has a lot of more. We have the node. You can also manage node from here. So you can see I'm just using this version of node, but you can add more and you can just be switching between those. And similar way to PHP, you can see all of these I've installed. I have not installed this one, so all my applications are falling under these three versions. But also you can do PHP configurations like maximum file upload size, there is memory limit, and the Laravel installer. So actually Laravel HUD gives you a lot, so you just no need to worry about how you are going to manage the local development environment. So just install Laravel HUD and you will be up and running on any PHP application. So when you visit here the dashboard, make sure that all the services for Nginx, dumps, and PHP all are working. So after that, let's go to the site. Here is where we are going to create our first application, that is Laravel. And basically we are going to create the latest version of Laravel, which will be Laravel 12. So I'll just select the new Laravel project, which will start a fresh Laravel project. So click next. So from here, I'm not going to select any of these starter kit because we are going to install Filament in it. So Filament will come with the authentication. So for now, let's stick with the no starter kit and let's click next. And here we are going to call it Filament Mastery. Okay, and then next. So this will start to create our Laravel 12 application. So let's give it a time, and when this will be done, I will just continue with Filament installation. So while this is still creating the project, I have to say this. At the end of this course, you'll have a complete Filament PHP application, which we are going to build by using this documentation. So we are going to follow up on every single feature that is coming with Filament PHP, from the resources, tables, schemas, forms, info list, actions, notifications, widgets, panel configurations, navigations, how you're going to manage your users, some of the customization that you can do. There is advanced features that we are going to see, how you are going to use different components, and the final thing that we are going to do is where you can deploy the Filament PHP application. So I'm going to show you how you can deploy this application in a shared hosting application, server. So I will show you every single detail about these features so that you can be able to start building your own admin panels, dashboard, and everything that you need by using Filament PHP application. Alright, so here you can see now your application was created successful. So now we can be able to open it in our browser. So let's open that way. And here I'm going to close this one. And the first thing will be to open our application in our VS Code so that we can go through the file structure of our application and see how it looks like at the first glance. Okay, so let me open it like this way, and now this is our Laravel 12 application, which is our welcome page from Laravel 12 application. But in order for you to be able to see the application or the Filament PHP admin panel, you have to navigate to the admin panel, and now you can see we don't see anything. Why? Because we didn't install Filament into application. So this was just a Laravel 12 application that we have created, and you can see from the composer.json here, we just only have the filament, the Laravel framework. So in order for that link to work, so we just need to install Filament PHP inside our application. So now let's copy this link, the command. So we have the composer require filament /filament, then you have to mention the version 4, and then there is this install command. So the first one will be to run this one. So composer require filament, then version 4. So let's go back here. Let me zoom a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. And then let's open the terminal from here. And let's paste the command, so it will be that way, and let's press enter. So what it does, this will just copy all the files from the repository, and it will just keep them inside our vendor directory, and then after that we are going to run the install command so that we can have Filament PHP up and running into our application. So here you can just see Filament has been added into our composer.json file. Okay, so now let's give it a time, and then we are going to run the install command. Alright, so here you can see this command has been done. So you can see all of these were added into our Laravel application. So now let's finish up by running this command so that we can install the panel. So let's install the panels, and this will ask you for the ID that you want to use. So you can just change this ID, but for now I'll just leave it this way, because later on I'll show you how you can add multiple panels inside the same Filament PHP application. So for now let's just leave it that way. So I'll just click enter, and this will do the configurations. So it will just add the admin panel provider and other configurations. So for now I'll just say no, because I've already done that. So here you can see these are the configuration that we had done. So this were the file that was added inside the application. Okay, so now means if you go to the app and providers, inside you will see there is a new directory called the Filament, and inside that you see there is a new file called the admin panel.php, and this will be changing if you add another panel, call it, let's say, app. So it will be app panel provider. So now if you open this one, here is where whenever you hear someone considering Filament PHP and say configuration file, so this is the configuration file for your Filament PHP application. So here you can see there is this function which is called the panel, and you can see this admin panel provider, it is extending this interface which is called the panel provider. So you can just go inside it and learn more about what is happening inside here, but for now let's just keep it simple. And here you can see we have this panel, and inside here you can see we are returning that panel that was passed here. And here you can see these are the different configurations that you can have. So you can see there is different things that you can see from here. So I'll just go here quickly. So here there is this default. We have the ID of the panel. Also we have the path. So this path means that will be the path that you are going to reference here, which is this one. So for now, if we refresh this, we should be able to see the login interface. So let's see. And you can see this is our login interface, and you can see here the application, which is the application name. You can see we are on sign in, so the users can be able to sign in from here. Okay, so that is what I was trying to say. So that will be the path, but the ID will be admin. So there is some of the let's say commands that you are going to run, they will require you to pass down the ID of your panel, because you can have more than one panel. So that's why I was trying to say that this is very important, so you have to know it and where you can just use it. But here you can see on authentication we have only login, but you are able to add more authentication pages. But for now you can see we have only the login, and from here on the login interface you don't see other pages like sign in or forgot password and everything like that. So here, as I've mentioned, because this is the configuration file, so you can just say, for example, you want to add the forgot password, so you can just call it reset password. It is called the password reset. Call it this way. So you can see we have the password reset. So now if we go back here and refresh this page, now you see we have this option to navigate to the forgot password page. So if you click that, now you see we are on the forgot password page, and you can go back like that way. But also if you want to add the registration page, it's easy. So just call here the registration page. So let's just call the registration. Okay, and if you go back here and refresh, you see you have the or sign up for an account. So if you click that, you see that this is the page that you can add an account. So you can create a user from here. So for example, if I add just simple data like this way, so I can just say sign up, and the users will be registered, and then it will be signing in automatically. So it will direct us to the dashboard, where we are going to see the dashboard of our Filament PHP application. And here is our dashboard, and as you can see from the dashboard, we have this welcome card or widget, where you can see there is name initials. So you can see these are the name initials of the user that has been logged in. So this is the name. So you can see here there is name initials. You have a way to switch between the theme. So you can see we can switch to light, and you can go back to dark, or you can just leave it the system to decide it for you. But also there is this card for the filament documentation, and also it shows the version of the filament. Also you can see the files or the GitHub repository for filament. On this sidebar, for now you can see we have only the dashboard, so we don't see any other links. So all of that we are going to add them one by one. So on the next video I'll start to show you step by step on how we are going to start to build the application. So we are just going to navigate through this getting started page. Okay, so for now I'm going to say goodbye. See you on the next video.